All right, we have Andrew Work here today.
Hey, Vincent.
So, what happened on Tuesday?
Okay, what should everybody be looking for? Okay, once again, our executive council's headed for the airport. They're flying here, they're flying there.
Yep.
Tang Tak Singh's off to Russia. He's going to be doing a little bit of work just to make Russians more happy with Hong Kong. It's not very substantial, this trip. You know, the ISD's got this big, like, glamour of Hong Kong thing going on in Moscow.
Tak Singh.
Yeah.
The Secretary for Home Affairs.
That's the one. That's
All
the
right.
one. So it seems like something...
How do you usually pronounce his name among the Western community?
Terribly, incorrectly. Tang Tak Singh is as close as I get.
Tak Singh.
Yeah, Tang Tak Singh.
Tak Singh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Tak Singh.
I always need a little bit of help on this, you know.
Okay, do it again. Tak Singh.
Tak Singh.
Yeah, Tak Singh.
Tak Singh.
Yeah, Tang Tak Singh.
Yeah, Tang Tak Singh.
Yeah, but why don't you guys just call him TS?
You know what? I
Yeah.
think we might popularize that in Harper Times. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, TS. But the
Yeah.
problem is you start with the first name, right?
Yeah.
So if it is Zhang Tak Singh, then his short form will be TS Zhang, right?
TS Zhang, yeah.
Which the short form will become TST, which becomes another thing.
Because he's that old guy.
This is difficult.
Well,
but you call him Zhang Tak Singh then. TST doesn't work.
That could be.
Sorry.
We'll have to credit you with that. No, I like it. I like it. We're going to credit you with that one. You know, every time we use it, we're going to have a little asterisk at the bottom. You know.
All right.
Vincent.
All right. We are close to TST anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
So so John Tang, the other Tang is off to Washington D.C., part of the China delegation for the IMF and World Bank meetings. I think very interesting. One of the things, like one of my long-term watches, is for John Tang when he retires, when he leaves his role in Hong Kong. You know, if it happens.
So John is much easier, right?
Tang, John Tang.
John Zhang is actually sounds similar, right?
Yeah.
Zhang Zhang and John Zhang is very similar.
You could get them a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll go with TS. But so he's going to meet with Ben Bernanke and hopefully ask him to stop flooding Hong Kong with his easy money.
Yeah.
And
Bern Bernanke will possibly tell him that I won't be here for long.
Yeah, that could be. That's right. You know, why are you meeting with me? But I'm always watching for Zhan Tang to see what he does on these international trips, because I think he's, out of anybody in Hong Kong, Margaret Chan, WHO, Zhan Tang is the next one to go to the international scene when he leaves his role. And I think I'd be on the lookout for that. Casey Chan will be in charge while he's gone.
Okay.
Safe hands at the till.
Now you see you use Casey.
Oh yeah, Casey. That's well established.
Yeah,
Professor
so you have T.S. Zhang and Casey Chan.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got to get the TS thing going.
Okay.
The other thing is there's going to be a debate in Let's Go about extending the plastic bag levy.
Again?
Well, right now it's the big retailers. They're just talking today.
Uh-huh.
But they want to bring it to smaller and medium-sized retailers.
Uh-huh.
But the difference is that the small and medium-sized retailers get to keep the money.
All right.
Now, this is kind of a weird twist, because you walk into a Welcome, you walk into a parking shop, they hit you for 50 cents. You're not going to argue with them. But if it's the guy that you see in the wet market every day, he's been giving you free plastic bags for 20 years, and all of a sudden, Mrs. Wong says, now he's like, oh, sorry, I got to charge you 50 cents, but I get to keep it. She'd be like, no, you just give me a 50-cent discount, okay? Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
I see this one having a little more trouble.
Again, this is a policy back in those days when Edward Yao is the policy secretary for environment.
Yeah.
And I think the first stage is all right. The first stage is that you collect 50 cents for plastic bag.
Yeah.
And then they have this computer system, and then they have this amount, which has to be given back to the government. That's stage one.
Yeah.
I mean, that is all right. I mean, that's why people will say this plastic bag tax.
Yeah.
Because you pay tax to the government. But in stage two, when the big retail chain said that they can keep their money, I just find it weird. I mean, it's no longer tax. They are like kind of selling plastic bag for a fixed price now.
And unwillingly, because they'd rather
And unwillingly.
If they wanted to, they would have done it before.
And then finally, the third stage, which is what you said is going to come.
Medium, small.
Yeah. I mean, they have to force the SMEs to sell the plastic bag for a fixed price.
Yeah, but I think monitoring is going to be a problem with so many things like idling engines that, the law comes in, it doesn't get enforced. I have a feeling it'll be like that. Like, how are you going to find out if some guy working in a wet market whether or not he's properly charging? Unless you have inspectors out there doing mystery shopping and saying, hey, you didn't charge me for my bag.
And you don't want to spend money on mystery shoppers to prosecute SMEs.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure what will likely happen is it won't be enforced. green groups will go out and have a mystery shopping survey of their own. They'll get a bunch of volunteers to
and
go
then
out
prove that it doesn't work.
Prove that it,
Possibly.
and then they'll ask for more enforcement. But really, is it worth spending the money on it? I don't know. I think really it's Hong Kongers that got to change their behaviors if this is what they want.
You know what? I think we need to have more accurate research on the success of levying the so-called plastic bag tax.
Yeah.
And if we find that most people has already changed the habit, then I think there's no use to further push this to the SMEs. But I am for plastic bag tax in the beginning.
Yeah.
When they said they will come up with a system to urge all the retail chain to give back the money. Because I think a lot of the plastic bags are actually coming from the retail chain. I mean, if you change the habit there, that is okay.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a debate amongst the retail chain. But I think the most silly part is that they set up this computer system for a while, and then they have to scrap the system now because they don't really need to.
Yeah, it's
to pay the money back. To the government.
Yeah, so, like we're all for keeping plastic out of our landfills, and like look, I'm looking down on the street here behind us. There's one floating around right now. You know, we don't want that. But on the other hand, you know, you got to think these things through. And like I think when this situation arises, as you and I have said, we can refer back to this one and say we told you so for all the good it does.
All right. So the keyword for today, enforcement. How about that?
Enforcement.
We have to think about enforcement
and whether or not it's feasible.
Yep.
You know, and if it isn't, then that gets into a whole issue about rule of law. You know, laws you can't really enforce get selectively enforced and become a tool of persecution. But that's another issue for another day.
Yeah, but that's the spirit of common law. So
yeah, that's very true.
So I think enforcement is key.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Vincent.